I mean, they called a charge, right? And LeBron was clearly 4 feet outside the restricted area. So it doesn't make sense to go review something that the review is if he's on the line or if he's close to the charge circle. That's the review. He wasn't close. So what are we reviewing? Either call a blocking foul or call an offensive foul. You know he's outside of restricted, and then you go there and overturn the call and say it's a block. It's never been done, ever, in the history of the game. And then tonight in the finals, on the biggest stage, it ain't right. It ain't right.
It ain't right. Has it never been done? I think it has. We're gonna get into that in just a second. But first, before we do that, tyt.com/app is where you go for the 1,000,000% content. All of it is absolutely 100,000,000% free, so go. And if you have an iPhone, go to the App Store, search TYT, and then you pretty much know the gist because you're not my grandfather who's 90 plus years old. So here we go. The block charge call was huge, okay? And in the group text that we have, because Brett was just allowed entry. By the way, seriously, mazel tov to you, my friend. Bar mitzvah came late.
Mazel tov to me. Before we go any further, you have an announcement about a success in your life.
Take your time.
We won!
All right.
Fireworks. Going out. We are not going out swept.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. My team won 9-6.
Congratulations.
We are now 1-6.
A lot of defense played in that soccer game.
A lot of defense was played.
All right, cut.
Actually, that's the lowest score I've heard.
Thank you, guys. 9-6.
Cut. Thank you. No.
Keep it going.
Did she not have this victory after she was singled out earlier? All right. We have a show.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. 9-6.
All right, in the land of who gives a shit. So
Wait.
the block and charge.
Wait. Let me just say one thing. You want to watch my last game? We're on every Thursday in LA if you're in LA. At the association, just look out. Actually make a poster for number 1, because that's me.
There you go. Wow.
That's it.
Sorry. Okay.
That's it. Keep it going.
Okay. Sorry, Ricky. I feel so bad. I don't think you gave me the look. Because you started
I'm sorry, Ricky. We good?
It was nice
We're
to
not-
meet you.
okay.
Remember the joke that Jacory made? It's actually true. So here we go. The block charge call. Here's what occurred. A lot of mistakes were made, but someone should apologize to the Cavs for how the last 2 minutes in overtime were officiated, according to Christopher Bosch, the dinosaur. And then Dave McMenamin said 4 words I've heard more than once being muttered under the Cleveland Cavaliers' personnel's breaths. Ken Maurer effed us. That was the head official. Here is what LeBron James had to say post-game about the call. Take a look and we'll discuss.
I read that play just as well as I've read any play in my career, maybe in my life. I seen the play happening. I knew I was outside the charge line, and I knew I took the hit. I don't know what else to say.
All right, we could cycle through these again. What occurred was the referees, the onus is on them when it's under 2 minutes, late game situations. If they think anyone is in the restricted area, as you see with the semicircle right there, in case you haven't been watching basketball at all, is if it's under 2 minutes and they think someone's in the restricted area, they are allowed with this new rule that obviously no one knew, that they're allowed to go review it. Now the thing is, LeBron was moving, but now it is completely subjective that even if someone is moving, you gotta be in legal guarding position, as Jeff Van Gundy went over. I initially thought it was a block because his right foot continually moved towards his left and he slid under. However, the correct call after review, and even from Steve Javie, who they have in there, who's like the Mike Pereira of the NBA Finals and the NBA playoffs, was that it was a charge.
It was not a charge.
So technically, according to the rules, Brett, according to the rules, they got it wrong.
So I know what the restricted area is. This charge review thing was not in legal guarding position, in a legal guarding position, but inside the restricted area.
More importantly, why do you think it was a charge?
If the defender was in legal guard. In my approach to instant replay and review is the reasonable person's call. I hate it when they say, well, this does it. We're doing a review. We stopped play. We went and looked at it. But within the specific bounds of what we're able to overturn or not overturn, we can't, even though the ball went off that guy, we can't change the call. In this situation, even though it was obviously a block, we can't call it a block. I think that there should be a spirit of common sense caveat to each one of these things where once you initiate the review, if there's something that isn't explicitly said by the rules that you could change, but you see it, you can change it.
I agree.
And this was a very obvious block to me because KD leaves his feet as much as LeBron in a very Trump style says like, I've never read anything so well in my life. You slid under the guy, that's a block. You don't get that call. Also, you had a chance to win the game at the end.
Oh,
Brett is coming out hot. But you still are the best basketball player.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna use the common sense rule across all sports, if we can. I'm gonna use it for this particular situation in the NBA. And how about we use the common sense rule of what the F a catch is in the National Football League? Like we all know that Des Bryant caught the ball. We all know that Calvin Johnson caught the ball against the Bears, and then because he put it down on the ground as he was already in the end zone, it's an incomplete pass. I think the common sense rule should be applied to every single sport. And I'd be okay with it.
Where does that apply here? Where's the common sense rule with the charge and the block? This is a judgment call, first of all. I've seen a million charging calls that were blocks.
So let me ask you a question.
Of them.
How were you taught the charge rule, the charge call? If someone's moving, right?
No.
Yeah.
It's actually not that.
Because they did change it. Because if you're still playing defense and you're
right.
moving, you can get a charge because it's when the offensive player actually makes the contact and knocks you because you're playing good defense.
Usually in the
It used
form
to
of
be
lowering your shoulder.
It used to be you have to be still in one place.
Yes.
Now you can be moving, right?
You can be lateral as long as you're not kind of advancing toward him.
I've seen the reason I hate I love charging calls. The reason I hate when people get bad ones is because the referees get it wrong a lot.
So often.
All the time. And I'm like, oh my God, he's moving. Oh my God, the guy was literally in midair and he jumped under him. I see Corey Brewer.
Here we go.
The reason I hate Corey Brewer is not because he's not a good basketball player. You know, he would dismantle me on a basketball court. But you know what? He jumps under people all the time and he throws his head back, throws his arms everywhere. And they go, oh my God, look at that great charging call. No, it was a horrible charging call. But they don't get to continue to review it like they did this. That is where my problem is. They only review this one and flip it when they never do this any other time.
More importantly, Denise's team won a soccer. We'll be back in a bit.